Some people start their day with an alarm. I start mine like this. Good morning from Dalat. Today, Dola and I are taking you along for a full day of exploring this beautiful city. We'll be visiting iconic local spots, wandering through pine-covered hills, and of course, eating our way through some amazing street food and cozy local eateries. When I was stuck in my old office routine, a full day felt like an endless cycle of stress. But today, a full day means 12 hours of freedom, discovery, and simple joys. Put on your comfortable shoes, pack a warm jacket, and let's experience a day in Dalat together. First stop of the day? Filling up our stomachs with a steaming bowl of traditional bún bò, Vietnamese beef noodle soup. Just look at this masterpiece. Rich, fragrant lemongrass broth, tender beef slices, and a huge, juicy crab meatball that is honestly mouthwatering. Back when I worked in the corporate world, breakfast was a rushed sandwich eaten in front of a flickering computer screen. I barely tasted my food because my mind was already overwhelmed with tasks. But sitting here today, watching the steam rise into the chilly morning air and taking that first heavenly spoonful, I'm reminded of how wonderful it feels to simply slow down and truly nourish both your body and soul. Before leaving the noodle shop, I saved a juicy piece of crab cake and a slice of tender beef in a small paper cup just for Dula. We'll save this delicious treat for later. We then took a short, breezy ride to a lovely coffee shop nearby. Instead of ordering my usual coffee, I decided to step out of my comfort zone today and try a completely new drink on their menu. For a long time, I was afraid of trying anything new, whether it was a career path, a lifestyle, or even a simple menu item. But once you break free from safety zones, you realize that life is full of delightful surprises waiting for you to discover. There's something deeply comforting about sitting in a quiet coffee shop, wrapped in this crisp, cool mountain air. I found a cozy spot on a soft, plush sofa. Sinking into the cushions with Dula curled up asleep in her bag right beside me, I felt a level of peace I hadn't experienced in years. For the longest time, my brain was wired to believe that being productive meant constant hustle, that doing nothing was a crime. But sitting here today, I realized that taking time to rest and simply exist isn't lazy, it's necessary. You don't always need a crowded itinerary to have a meaningful day. Sometimes, the best part of a trip is simply allowing yourself to sit quietly and recharge. After resting up, we decided to head out to Suoi Vang Lake, a famous spot about an hour's ride from the city center. The sky was dark and rumbling with thunder the entire way, and to make things even more exciting, Google Maps decided to play a trick on us. It led us right into a dead-end road full of thick, sticky clay mud. Just look at my bike wheels, completely covered in mud. Haha. We got caught in the rain, but after an hour of struggling through muddy paths, we finally arrived. Only to find the lake completely dried up. Nothing but cracked, yellowish mud as far as the eye could see. In the past, a ruined plan like this would have ruined my entire mood. But living freely has taught me to embrace the chaos. Sometimes the misadventures and muddy wheels are what make a journey truly unforgettable. Just when we thought the trip was a bust, we spotted a few small food stalls right by the lake. I pulled over at Auntie Hua's little stall, right on the edge of the lake, complete with cozy hammocks. It was so rustic, peaceful, and relaxing. I ordered a small portion of grilled chicken and wild boar, along with a tube of bamboo-cooked sticky rice, kum lam. Laying back on the hammock, listening to the gentle breeze, and taking a bite of the crispy, savory grilled meat paired with warm, sticky rice, honestly, it was absolutely delicious. Life has a funny way of balancing things out. Sometimes when things don't go according to plan, all you have to do is pull over, sit down, and enjoy the unexpected gifts along the way. I saved half of the unseasoned meat for Dula and fed it to her piece by piece. Seeing her eat so happily made the meal taste even better. After finishing our lunch, I picked Dula up and brought her into the hammock to nap with me. In the cool mountain breeze, listening to the quiet rustle of the trees, we fell into the most peaceful sleep I've had in a long time. So rustic, so simple, yet deeply comforting. Back when I was trapped in my old life, sleep was often filled with anxiety about unfinished tasks and tomorrow's deadlines. But here, wrapped in a blanket on a simple hammock, I finally remembered what real, deep rest feels like. After our refreshing nap, we packed up and headed towards Tuyen Lam Lake, which was more than an hour's ride away. By now, it was already 11 a.m., but the mountain air of Dalat remained crisp and chilly. Riding along the winding slopes, sandwiched between endless rows of towering pine trees, the scent of pine wood and cool mist filled the air. In the past, 11 a.m. meant staring at a clock on a wall, waiting endlessly for a lunch break inside a crowded, air-conditioned office. But today, 11 a.m. is the fresh mountain wind on my face and absolute freedom with my little companion. Arriving at Tuyen Lam Lake, the water was shimmering under the midday sun. All around us, life was happening in its own peaceful rhythm. Couples floating gently on pedal boats, groups of friends sipping coffee under the cool shade of pine trees. But one particular sight deeply caught my attention: a person quietly releasing small fish back into the lake. Watching those little fish swim eagerly back into the vast, open water, I couldn't help but think about my own journey. Leaving my high-stress corporate job felt exactly like being released back into the wild. It was terrifying at first, but returning to freedom is where we truly belong. Freedom isn't just about having no schedule. It's about giving your soul space to breathe, live, and swim in your own direction. Right next to the lake, we stumbled upon a tiny, clear stream. Dola and I sat down by the water to rest under the cool shade. Listening to the peaceful stream bubbling over the rocks, watching two horses casually munching on green grass nearby, it felt like time had completely stopped. When you're stuck in a stressful routine, your mind is constantly racing toward the next task, the next deadline. But nature has a gentle way of pulling you back to the present moment. You realize you don't need a lavish life to feel truly rich. Just a quiet stream, a cool breeze, and a peaceful mind are more than enough. After resting by the stream, Dola and I walked back up the stone steps to where our motorbike was parked, getting ready to head back toward the town center. As the late afternoon sun began to soften, the roads of Dalat felt even more charming. All along the way, we passed beautiful fences covered in blooming flowers, vibrant bougainvilleas, delicate roses, and wild blossoms spilling over white wooden gates. Back when my days were spent inside concrete walls, I barely noticed the changing seasons or the flowers blooming along the road. But when you slow down your pace, you realize that beauty doesn't just exist in famous tourist destinations. It's right here, tucked quietly along the ordinary fences of everyday life. By the time we got closer to the center, it was already 2 p.m. and our stomachs were loudly protesting. So I pulled straight into my all-time favorite local spot for a steaming hot beef hot pot. We ordered a small hot pot to share among the three of us, my friend Dula and me, and honestly, it was out of this world. The broth was rich, fragrant with herbs, and packed with deep flavors. The beef slices were incredibly tender, and the pork trotters were cooked to gelatinous, chewy perfection. Back when I was stuck in a repetitive routine, lunch breaks were just quick, silent meals eaten in a hurry. But sitting here today, laughing with a close friend and sharing a hot meal in the cool mountain air, I realized that true happiness often lies in these simple, shared moments. To wrap up this incredible meal, we tossed in a big handful of fresh green vegetables and a bundle of noodles right into the bubbling broth. Slurping those hot, savory noodles and drinking every last drop of the rich soup in this ideal cool weather, honestly, nothing beats this feeling. It wasn't just about filling our stomachs. It was about truly savoring the warmth, the flavor, and the cozy company after a long journey. After that hearty hot pot, we rode back to our homestay for a well-deserved nap. When we woke up, my stomach was already growling again. It seems like this chilly mountain air speeds up your digestion, making you hungry all over again, haha. So for dinner, we couldn't resist heading out for some traditional barbecue. We ordered pork belly and grilled pork intestines. Sizzling over hot charcoal, the meat was juicy and crispy, while the intestines were chewy, flavorful, and incredibly savory. Sitting around a warm charcoal grill on a cold night, enjoying delicious food with good friends. These simple night moments are truly the heart and soul of Dalat. After that rich and savory barbecue meal, we decided to take a quiet walk up and down the sloping streets of Dalat. The night air was chilly and crisp. Along the way, I stopped by a small drink stall to buy a cup of iced calamansi red tea, extra sour, just the way I like it. Taking a sip of that icy, bright, tangy tea while strolling through the quiet, softly lit alleys, it instantly refreshed my palate and cleared my mind. Sometimes, happiness isn't about grand plans or expensive experiences. It's simply having the freedom to wander down a quiet slope, sipping a sour tea in the cool night breeze, and feeling completely content with where you are. After our stroll, we hopped back on the bike and rode straight to Dalat Square. Nighttime here is always so vibrant and full of energy. Travelers like us gather here to capture iconic photos, while locals flock in for group activities. Kids gliding on roller skates, groups playing basketball and volleyball under the bright city lights. All around the square, cozy street food stalls fill the cold air with mouth-watering aromas. Crispy grilled rice paper, ban trang nuong, steaming cups of soy milk, and fresh shake strawberries. Watching the lively rhythm of this mountain city while holding a warm drink in my hands, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. Freedom isn't just about escaping to quiet nature. It's also about fully immersing yourself in the vibrant, happy moments of everyday life. Before heading back to rest, we decided to ride slowly right through the heart of Dalat Night Market to soak in the vibrant atmosphere. Goodness, the market was packed with endless stalls. From sizzling grilled skewers and fresh fruits, to winter clothes, cozy scarves, local specialties, hot porridge, and sticky rice. I even spotted street performers standing completely still like human statues, accepting tip donations for photos. The streets were filled with people, some strolling on foot, others slowly riding motorbikes like us. Haha, experiencing the night market like this, riding through the cool mist, wrapped in the warmth of delicious food aromas and happy voices, was the perfect ending to an unforgettable day. Freedom is simply giving yourself permission to explore, to laugh at the unexpected detours, and to cherish every single moment along the way. After exploring the night market, we headed back to our homestay and ordered a famous student-style roasted chicken delivered right to our door. Looking back at everything I ate today, I just realized, I think I might really have a thing for chicken. Haha. Tearing off a juicy, steaming hot chicken leg, dipping it into savory sauce, and taking a big bite right in the cozy comfort of our homestay, honestly, there was no better way to end the day. From getting stuck in mud with Google Maps to dried-up lakes, rustic hammocks, steaming hot pots, and midnight chicken mukbangs, today was full of unexpected moments. After freshening up, we spent some time taking care of a few online tasks. Before we knew it, it was already 9:30 p.m. Since this was our last night in Dalat, I wanted to make the most of it. So I took a stroll down the sloping street right parallel to the night market. Nighttime here has a unique artistic soul. Street musicians singing softly with their acoustic guitars, while small crowds gather around. Tarot and astrology fortune-telling corners tucked along the sidewalk. And then, I spotted an old artist sketching portraits with charcoal and pencil. Intrigued, I walked over to watch. Wow, his mastery was absolute. With just a few swift, effortless strokes, a stunningly accurate portrait came to life in barely 5 minutes. Truly incredible. Standing there under the warm streetlights, watching art happen so effortlessly, it was the most peaceful, magical way to say goodbye to this city. After walking up and down the steep slopes for a while, my legs started feeling a bit tired, so we pulled into a tiny roadside stall right there on the hill. We gathered around the warm charcoal grill to rest and order some quintessential Dalat night treats. I went for a hot grilled egg, Dola got a crispy grilled rice paper, and my friend enjoyed a steaming cup of warm soy milk. Sitting on little plastic stools by the roadside, feeling the chilly mountain breeze while savoring hot, fragrant street food, it was such a rustic, simple moment, but it warmed us right up to the soul. A truly cozy and perfect note to end our final night in this dreamy city. Just as we got close to our homestay, I couldn't resist stopping for one last late-night bowl of noodle soup. Right as I sat down at the table, a few light raindrops began to fall. In that chilly, midnight air, holding a bowl of piping hot noodles felt extraordinarily warm and comforting. Even though Dula had already eaten chicken earlier, I still saved a big piece of meat from my bowl to bring back to the homestay for him. Back in our cozy room, watching him happily eat his midnight treat while the rain softly tapped against the window, my heart felt completely full. A day full of unexpected turns, delicious food, and unforgettable memories with the best travel companions. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey with us. Good night from Dalat, and see you in the next adventure.